Let's hear it for them. You can gauge the reaction already. Our audience loved the trailer. They're clapping for
They
it.
didn't like the sound though. I'm very sure.
You've gotta log in and watch it again. But we've given you a bit of context for. And when is it coming? So people can already make their Friday night plans. Why don't you announce that as well?
1st September streaming only on Netflix.
Yes. But let me come to you, Babil, on what appealed to you about this project.
Sir, I just thought that I had just done Kala before this and I had done Railwayman. And both are really intense stories and I wanted to do something light and I wanted the audience to feel a relief from the burden of thought that we face nowadays. You know, every decision we make as if it's going to make or break our lives, and that is a strange mental state to be in. And I want to do something that would give the audience some relief from that, make them feel light a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Vatsal, you make your debut with this, so debuts are always very special. Tell us a bit about the concept of Friday Night Plan and how the casting happened and the project came your way.
Like you said, this is my first film and it is very special to me, obviously, so I could talk about it for hours. But to give you an answer in short, this is a story that I've written that's very close to my heart because it's based very much on my personal experiences growing up in Mumbai, the kind of people that I met, the friends I made, the relationship I have with my brother and my mother, the learnings I had growing up. So yeah, it kind of came from there. And as regards the casting process, there was, once we decided to make this film with Excel and Netflix, we had a casting director come on board. And with his advice, of course, the first person we cast in the film is Babil, who's playing the lead role in the film. And in Babil's specific case, our casting director, Mr. Anmol Ahuja, he recommended Babil to me based on his work in Kala, which had just been shot, so I wasn't aware of it personally. And I had a meeting with him and things just clicked from there. So that, yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Kala now, before I come back to Friday Night Plan and, Brotherhood and all of that's being shown in the project, you got so much of love for Kala, but again, it was a very unconventional debut. You could have made your debut in the typical song and dance fashion, hero-heroine film.
No chance. There was no chance. I mean, I never planned my debut and I never thought that your journey into cinema should be associated with the idea of debut. Because in our industry, वहाँ debut नहीं होता Hollywood में या कहीं भी किसी भी cinema में कि world cinema में debut word is not associated with the idea that it is associated with in our industry.
Yeah.
And I just never thought about that at all. So like the debut word वो हम कभी सोचा
ज़हन में था कि पहली फिल्म, पहली पिक्चर, पहली सीरीज करेंगे तो ये करेंगे.
बिल्कुल नहीं. Not at all. I just wanted to work
and enter this.
Yeah. I never thought about that at all. Like I never thought about. I wanted to, जब मैं छोटा था ना, I was like बाबा की तरह star बनूंगा. But when the time came, those were not considerations at all.
Okay. You're at the Festival of Ideas today, so I want to ask you about when the idea of becoming an actor came to you.
When? I think your journey and your destiny, it drives you way before you realize it. Like I was 8 years old and I would grab people around and I would start performing for them. I'd do a skit or I'd do I'd do a play over a joke or something. I was acting back then. I didn't know I was acting. You do things that you don't even realize. Yeah. And inhibitions and restrictions of your own mind drive you away from your passion and then life brings you back. So you must allow life to tell you and guide you and surrender to that process. And I think that's how you find your passion. And I found it again.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you told your parents, Irrfan ji and Shutapa ji, that मुझे यही करना है? I want to, as you said, मुझे पापा की तरह star बनना था, मगर
वो बहुत छोटा था. Because and that feeling came because I would always watch these crowds take away Baba from me. So I think that came from there. Though मैं भी बन के दिखाऊंगा, but it never drove me. Yeah. It was never a driving factor for me.
बोला कब पहले उनको?
पहले?
हाँ.
अरे सर, तो मैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वेस्टमिंस्टर पढ़ने गया था. उसके जस्ट पहले मैं बाबा के पास गया. मैंने बाबा को बोला, बाबा मुझे एक्टर बनना है. फाइनली because I was really scared, and I didn't realize I was scared of following this passion, because of course, being scared of the man he is and the actor he is. But I went to him and I told him that I wanted to be an actor, and what he told me was that if you want to act in film, then you must understand the medium of film and what that means to humanity and what that means to your humanity. Then you must understand the role of acting in that medium, right? फिर तुम आ जाओ ये सब सीख के पढ़ के सिनेमा पढ़ के आ जाओ, मैं एक्टिंग सिखाऊंगा. बट जब मैं आया तो लेट हो गया, So now I'm on my own journey and I'll figure it out.
Absolutely, and he's blessing you from above. I believe he told you that I'm going to teach you, and then he went to hospital and he said, "मैं वापस आऊँगा."
Yeah. It was So he had beaten cancer, right? And there were 0 cancer cells in his body. But I think the chemo, it ruined his body so much that a simple infection needed, like a simple infection, like a little cut or a simple boil in the stomach would need hospitalization. So it was all going well. Like he was on the road to recovery. He was going to recover. We knew it. And then I remember he was on the bed in Mama's room, and but I lay down with him the entire night, and I was watching his scenes, and he woke up in a strange mood, and I was like, what happened? I watched this scene, Baba, ye scene bahut acha tha. And suddenly, I was too late, I should have asked these questions way before, but it was the last day before he went to the hospital when I asked these questions. And he was like, oh, I think I need to go to the hospital, but when I come back, I'll answer these questions. Yeah, abhi मैं film ही कर दूंगा तो then he never came back.
Yeah. Let's hear it once for Irrfan Khan Saab, someone who the country is so proud of, and who really will always remember. I know it gets emotional for Babil, but we remember him always with a smile, and I'm sure he's smiling from above when he sees your projects. But when did the idea of becoming a filmmaker come to you? I want to know your story, Vatsal.
Sure. I've just loved movies my whole life. I remember the first movie I saw when I was 3 years old. It was called Hame Rahi Pyar Ke. Coincidentally, Ms. Juhi Chawla is in that film also, and luckily, by coincidence, she also agreed to do this film. But yeah, I've always loved movies. When you're young and everyone asks you what you want to do, I would always say I want to make movies. And I don't think people took me seriously for a long time. I don't think I took myself that seriously also for a long time. I always had the attitude कि यार कौन सी बड़ी बात है सीख लेंगे वगैरह. So I think I did well enough in school to get into a film school called the Tisch School of the Arts at New York University. I think वहाँ पे when I went there and I did well enough to make some short films and student films that did reasonably well over there. Then I think my family, my mother, she was like, ठीक है चल आता थोड़ा बहुत तो आ लेता है इसको कुछ ना कुछ कर लेगा. So that was like the stamp of approval that I think I needed to take it more seriously. And I came back. I got the chance to work on this film called Fukre as an intern in 2012. And then you just work your way up through there as an assistant and so on till luckily I got a chance to make this film.
Yeah, that's your story, that's the journey. Whose ideas or whose thoughts have inspired you? Anyone in particular?
So many people, I can't even... Since you're asking me for names, I believe, I think I should name the people who have learned most from. Mr. Rahul Dolakia, who is the director of Raees, a film that I was an assistant on very closely with him. Mr. Karan Anshuman, who I worked with on this film called Bangistan, but also some shows called Inside Edge in Mirzapur. Miss Nitya Mehra, who I worked with. Mr. Mrigdeep Lamba, who is the director of Fukre. Mr. Farhan Akhtar, who is a producer of this film, of course, but also a mentor to me in many ways. So there's so many people I've worked with, I've learned from. I'm very happy to do them, hopefully a little bit proud with this film.
Okay. Whose idea and work have you been inspired by, Babil? Same question for you. Ideas or work or,
It's Baba used to play Tarkovsky when I was 8 years old. तब तो कुछ समझ नहीं आया, but जब film school गया और thesis लिखा Tarkovsky पे, तब समझ आया कि to implement spirituality in cinema, I think is one of the most difficult things to do. And to do it like he does, it's almost impossible. The only person is Bergman, who used to do it, right? So that is somebody I've been inspired by a lot. And it's not the films, it is of course the films, but just the idea that how spirituality can be implemented in your art. And spirituality it's not the right word, but your being, how your being can be implemented into your art, and the journey of your being, that's the surrender of your being. Those ideas inspired me a lot. Yeah.
Okay. I want to also ask you now, back on Friday Night Plan, how was the vibe on set? A lot of youthful energy, I'm sure. All of you, trying to make your mark. As we said, you're the future of cinema. That's what our session title is today. How was the vibe on sets on Friday Night Plan?
I think one thing I discovered in Friday Night Plan while shooting, because of the environment that Vatsal created, that the environment you create on set reflects in the film. So आपको जो फिल्म दिख रही है वैसा ही environment था, काम कर रहे थे but बहुत मजे लेके काम कर रहे थे और बहुत प्यार से काम कर रहे थे, बहुत empathy से काम कर रहे थे एक दूसरे के लिए. And I think that was so special and very beautiful. Hello.
Also come on stage like your makeup guy now. So, okay. Vatsal, tell us about the vibe on set. How was working with Babil? You have Juhi Chawla ji also in the film. Juhi Chawla Mehta ji is also there.
Suddenly became loud. Sorry. It was a lot of fun. It was, like Babil said, and like I think you said as well, we had a lot of young energy on the set as a factor of many things. One, of course, the cast was largely young. It's a film largely about teenagers, so we had very young actors on set. But I think also we had a very young crew who, all the HODs on the film, they were, they're very young. They had new ideas. We always wanted to work with positivity and good vibes and have a good time making this film. And I feel very lucky that everyone came on board with that energy, including Miss Juhi Chawla, like you said. She was just wonderful to work with. She was so, when she would come on set, she's an actress of tremendous experience, like Babil likes to say, she doesn't walk, she floats, So when she comes in, there's just an aura around her that everyone goes silent out of awe, It's like there's like a natural response of something special happening around you. So, but she was herself as an actress, so giving and kind. That, she came to the set like any other actor did, and I had as much fun working with her as I did with Babil or Amrit or any of the other actors on
Tell us a bit about your association with Netflix also. And collaboration.
My first film was on Netflix, and my second film is on Netflix. Hopefully, my third film will be on Netflix, and hopefully, Netflix and I have become family. Kahan ho aap? Hello. Or just become friends, So I think it's just, जब आप थोड़ा प्यार बन जाता है तो वो मज़ा आता है काम करने में, मेहनत करने का मन करता है. प्रमोशन मैं कॉलेज में जाता हूँ तो मैं full, and that happens when you love to work with somebody, and
it's streaming in so many countries instantly. That's the magic of OTT. It streams immediately all over.
I just did this. He's on a mic.
All over.
Gee, of course. Of course. And the opportunity, because आप theatrical करोगे, I want to come on the big screen, right? Yeah. But the opportunity.
We were just talking about that in the last panel. OTT.
I do want to come. Of course, that's a dream. Yeah. But the opportunity to be able to express your art in so many countries, and I think that is something that you cannot, that is something you cannot replace, and that is something you want so much, for people all over the world to watch your work, and Netflix makes that so easy.
Yeah. We see brotherhood in the project. Is that something you relate to? Do you have those buddies in real life who are more than brothers?
Sir, मेरा हो गया party यार. Part क्या? Buddies. Oh, what buddies?
Do you have those real life buddies in real life as well, who are like more than brothers, like the project we see?
To be very honest, I'm a little solitary in the sense that when I go out, when I meet people, that's all the interaction I have. But on a personal level, I prefer to be alone and stay with my thoughts and reflect, to be honest.
Okay. That's your Friday night plan in real.
Reflection.
Yes. Okay. My final question before we let you go is on your style statement as well.
Thank you
Tell
very
us a bit about your fashion and style, because you're
just-
setting trends as well for your looks on the red carpet and off it. And you see, I'm sure, the remarks, and you talk about it too.
Sir, I just think that every opportunity you get to express your individuality, be truthful to your individuality and express it, and be fearless about it. You should take it, and fashion and style is something where you can express your individuality, and that's all I do. I don't. मेरे को कभी fashion icon बनना नहीं था, ऐसे कभी सोच के नहीं आया था fashion icon बनूंगा, लेकिन बन गया.
मुझे याद है जब हम मिले थे ग्रीन कार्पेट पे एट आईफा ग्रीन कार्पेट में, मैंने उनसे पहला सवाल पूछा, शुतापा जी के संग थे, व्हाट आर यू वेयरिंग? इज लाइक, यार क्लोथ्स.
यार मेरे को वही समझ
Then he
नहीं
said,
आया.
I'm wearing Shutapa ji's ring. I think you had worn that day as well. But thank you both so much for joining us, and it's really very special, Vatsal, to have you for your first project, and also Babil. I've done several interviews with your father, Irrfan Saab.
Also, one last thing about Netflix, because I missed. You always want to do international projects. With Netflix, every project is an international project, and that is something mind-blowing.
True. इरफान साहब ने बाद में इंटरनेशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स किए थे, आपने तो शुरुआत में ही कर दी.
Was going to do OTT, like he was
He would have been the game changer on OTT, no doubt.
And theatrical, I think. Yeah.
Well, we hope you'll kill it, and he's looking at you from above.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.